Well, howdy, welcome back to more JTReacts, and today we're going to be checking out your rights as a European. When I think of my rights as an American, I think of, my right to bear arms. Oh yeah. I guess pretty much all those constitutional rights come to mind. But as far as European rights, under the EU, I don't know much. I don't know that much about the EU anyways. Basically all I know is they make it easier for you to travel between different countries inside the EU. And you can go to different countries and work here and then live there and whatever. But I don't know much about what the EU actually gives people as far as rights. I'm sure there's a lot to it and it's very, very complex. And I'm sure this 3-minute video is not going to explain all of it to me. But I'm still interested in seeing, and then y'all let me know down in the comments a little bit more about it. Basically all I can do is just learn a little bit here and there. And videos like this are the prime example of that. So we're about to get into, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We are on the road to 30,000 subscribers. Drop a like if you want to see more of these European reactions. Also, if you're interested in some more different type of content from me and my dad started a channel together where we go metal detecting, trying to dig up a little bit of history here in Kentucky. So if that seems like something you might be interested in, go do me a favor, click the link down in the description. Go check out JT Outdoors. But that's enough yapping. Let's get on up into it.
There are 500 million people from 27 countries living in the European Union. We have the right to live.
Wait, what? 27?
Countries living in the European Union.
Wait, I thought, ain't there 50? Or is that just in Europe? Maybe that's just countries in Europe. Yeah, that makes sense, because I'm sure not every single country that's in Europe is a part of the EU. Okay.
We have the right to live, work, travel, and shop anywhere in Europe. We
That's
make
crazy.
over 1 billion cross-border trips every year, and 12 million of us live in another EU country.
Wait, over 1 billion trips? That's a lot, ain't it? That's 2 per person. And I know not everybody's traveling to different countries like that. Cheese and rice. For 500 million people, you're traveling over 1 billion times? Goodness.
Border trips every year, and 12 million of us live in another EU country. But sometimes we face barriers to our rights and our freedom to move across Europe. The European Union is working to make sure everyone benefits from the same rights in everyday situations. If you're one of the 75 million Europeans who fall victim to crime every year, you will have the right to support, protection, and access to justice wherever you are in the EU.
So, wait a minute. So say you live in one country and you travel to another country and a crime happens to you, alright? Somebody gets you. Somebody robs you or something like that. You have the same rights and the same laws in that country as you would in your home country. I guess that makes sense, because it's all underneath that one thing. It's all under the EU. So no matter where you are, the laws are gonna kind of stay the same, I guess.
Every year, 8 million Europeans are wherever you are in the EU. Every year, 8 million Europeans are accused or suspected of a criminal offence. To guarantee a fair trial, they will have the right to information, translation and interpretation, access to a lawyer, and to contact their family and consulate. There are more international couples too, around 16 million of them. The
Dang.
EU is agreeing to common rules to simplify the handling of joint property, and to enable couples to choose the national law which applies in case of divorce. If you're...
Wait a minute. What? So a couple, 2 people that live in 2 different countries can come together, buy a house, buy some land, whatever, but say something goes bad and they try to get a divorce, they get to choose on which country's laws they go by for the divorce? What the heck? I don't know if that would make it more complicated or easier, Because what if the laws are just super different between the 2 countries? I feel like that'd just start a bigger fight, But I guess in a lot of cases it probably helps. Because, not every divorce is people hating each other and trying to take whatever they can from each other, Y'all have to let me know, would that make the divorce harder? And just add something else to kind of fight about? Because to me, just thinking about it, I just feel like one of them, somebody's not going to agree with whatever. So it's just going to add to the fight, almost.
National couples too, around 16 million of them. The EU is agreeing to common rules to simplify the handling of joint property, and to enable couples to choose the national law which applies in case of divorce.
Or wait, do they pick it before they're married, like while they're getting married, do they pick who they're gonna go by? That might make more sense. Cause like if you agree on it and before you get married thinking you're never gonna get a divorce, and then down the road you end up getting a divorce, you've already agreed on it, so that kind of takes out the whole fight part. I guess that would make sense, but...
If you're one of the 90 million Europeans travelling outside the European Union every year, or one of the 30 million Europeans living in a non-EU country, rest assured, if you lose your passport or fall ill abroad, you can ask for help from any EU embassy of any EU country if your own country doesn't have one there.
Oh, now that's smart. So even if it's not a EU country, you can still, if you lose your passport, go get a new one. That's actually, yeah, I actually love that. Because the amount of, like, stories you hear of people, like, from America traveling somewhere else, and then they lose their passport, like, they're stuck there for months. Like, the process to get an American passport in a different country, a lot of times seems like the worst case scenario. Like, it seems like an absolute nightmare. But over there, even if you're traveling outside of the 27 countries or whatever that are in the EU, as long as you're still in Europe, no matter where you are, you're going to be able to have access to getting your passport probably a lot quicker than most people, you know? So yeah, that's smart. I love that.
Assured, if you lose your passport or fall ill abroad, you can ask for help from any EU embassy of any EU country if your own country doesn't have one there.
Wait, so even if you fall ill, does that mean you can get healthcare wherever? Now that'd be nice. No, that'd really be nice. I can go to town, get health insurance through the local health insurance place, and then try to go right down the street to the doctor's office, and they'll say, hey, your insurance isn't in our zone or whatever, and you can't come here. Literally, that has happened, bro.
Any EU embassy of any EU country if your own country doesn't have one there.
Huh.
For the 97 million working women in Europe who earn around 17% less than men and make up only 12% of company boards, the
Dang.
EU is pushing for equal pay and equal access to decision-making.
As they should.
1 in 6 Europeans have a disability of some sort. They should have equal access to goods, services and technology, whether it's getting a job, taking a bus or surfing the internet.
Okay.
With a population of 10 to 12 million, the Roma are the biggest ethnic minority in Europe. As EU citizens, they have the same rights as everyone else, without having to face discrimination or exclusion.
Again, as they should. I'm loving what I'm hearing.
Thanks to the single market, consumers can shop anywhere in Europe. But only 8% of us currently buy online from other European countries.
Wait, only 8%? Wait. This video is 13 years old, so I'm sure that number is outrageous now.
EU rules will make it easier for online shoppers to find their favourite products in other EU countries, with the option of choosing a European sales contract to safeguard their rights. For example, when returning goods.
Wait a minute, so it even affects, like, the return policy on stuff you buy online? What the heck?
These rules are good for the economy too, because businesses can trade anywhere in Europe under the same rules. This cuts costs for companies, especially small ones, which make up 99% of companies in Europe.
Wait, that probably helps so much. The fact that every single business in Europe operates under the same rules, that literally makes it to where you all basically have to work together. Or if something happens and you're trying to grow your business or whatever, you have an equal playing field with everybody. And I'm sure that causes a lot of businesses to do really, really well pretty early on. So dude, hold on.
Especially small ones, which make up 99% of companies in Europe.
That's crazy. That 99% are small businesses. That is so awesome.
Your personal data will be safeguarded. 70% of EU citizens are concerned that their personal data may be misused. That's why the EU is working to strengthen your right to access, change, or delete your data, as well as the right to be forgotten, letting you remove data after you no longer want it to be used.
Hey. As they should. God knows what they're doing with our data over here. Oh, goodness.
As a European citizen, your rights are protected at home, abroad, and online.
That is, dude, this was a good video. It really seems like it's just trying to make sure every single person kind of has the same rights no matter where you are in Europe. Because a lot of those made a lot of sense. And like there was some stuff I was like, dude, hold on now. Look, can we get a little piece of that, you know? Especially the passport thing. Being able to, if you lose your passport anywhere, you're going to be able to go in and get it probably no problem. Because to me, that is one of the most terrifying things when just the thought of traveling outside the country is losing your passport, bro. Oh my goodness. But y'all have to let me know what y'all think. I'm sure there's some pros and cons to it, of course. But as far as this video, pretty much everything they said, dude, it's hard not to agree with, you know? But that's going to do it for today's video. If y'all want to see more videos like this, let me know by hitting that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.